Welcome to What's Your New Hobby as of Today? And as you're all jumping on, I will demonstrate my new hobby as of 5 months ago. So imagine this is like when Mr. Rogers takes his shoes off. This is Senia welcoming you onto the show. This is Allegro. I open with that because this is my new hobby. This is a new hobby as of about 5 months ago. Totally new. Never did string instruments before. People my aunt just commented, and she is a professional piano teacher, so that's so cool. Thank you so much, Sveta. So this is a totally new hobby. And as you know, because you've been here before, I love the instrument. I think the cello is superb and amazing, and I love it. And what I want to talk with you about today is we are all in a funny situation. We have been in this situation of being work from home for a while. And I'll tell you how a good friend of mine refers to it as. He says it's a situation in which we've had a fatigue set over us. How long until we're able to do this? How long until we're able to do that? And in this context, with this fatigue that's set over us, what can you do? What can you do that can just light you up and energize your life? And you might not go and rent this huge cello instrument to have in your home. That might not be your thing. It happens to be my thing. What's your thing that could give you just a little bit of that creativity or edge or funness in your life that might be different from work? It might be different from home. So that's my question to you today. And I'll talk to you about a couple of research areas. And I'd also love to hear from you, from those of you who I see are on this session with us today. What might you try? What might you play with? What could be something, even you, so Sveta, who's on this call, what do you want to try that might be new? All right, so let's play. We'll play with the research and we'll play with the ideas. So first of all, why did I even start trying cello? My kids suggested it. So it might be something, one of the ways that you might figure out what's your new hobby that you would start as of today is people might suggest it to you. They might say, Mark, have you thought about this? Joanna, have you thought about this? So take those with a little bit of a nice grain of salt, not the grain of salt of suspicion, but with a, hey, what if I were to do this? So that's one thing. People might suggest it to you. There might be something that you've had on the back of your head. I was just co-leading a session this morning with my brother, and some of the people said, hey, I'm actually going to do that Duolingo French that I wanted. Great. One person said that. So think about what would be weird or unusual, but also, and this is where the research comes in, what's something that's manageable? So if I'm telling you in the middle of a pandemic, what's your new hobby? That can be overwhelming. What? I'm going to go off and start a new hobby? But what if it's something that you already wanted to do or that you want to start in a small way? I'll give you an example. What about hiking or going outdoors or walking or just something that sets you out of your usual, hey, I'm in this business context, I'm doing this, it's what I'm used to. What if you just separate out of that a little bit more? Okay, we'll get to the research and then please type in, what is something you can try? What's a new hobby, a new thing for yourself that you can try? The research relies a lot on the BJ Fogg research that I've talked about before, which is tiny habits. And it's specifically not even any kind of tiny habits, but it's something that you can start in this way. When I first started with that beautiful instrument, I used to literally just play the open strings, A string, D string. I think they sound beautiful, but it's so small. It wasn't even a big thing. So some of you are starting to pop up what you would like to try. Katerina is here with us and she says hiking. She's going to go hiking. How will you make it fun, Katerina? Is it something that can be once a week? Is it something that can be to explore new places? What can be that thing that in BJ Fogg's language is a small thing, but gets you started on that? So that's one set of research, which is the BJ Fogg research, which is, hey, let's start something in a small way. So for me, cello, I started in such a small way. It's even ridiculous. I couldn't play more than 5 minutes. I've mentioned this before because it really, I could not hold the bow long enough. I did not have those holding the bow muscles. So what could it be that's small for you? And even if it's small and seems like it's now you might come to is it infringing on the other things that are important to me? If I bring this in, does something else have to give? Try to do it in a way that something else doesn't have to give. Can you do a lesson that's small, not even a half hour or a full hour? Can you do something small? Can you do something that's fun at the beginning? Today's episode was really, really short. It was just about inviting you in to try something that might take the edge of that fatigue that most of us have been feeling. So I invite you to play. I invite you to try. And please come back and let us know what you're trying, what you're doing a small step on that might actually energize and go against that feeling of fatigue that a lot of us are having. Glad to see you here, and we'll see you next time. We have a phenomenal week this week, so I think you'll be really, really thrilled for this week, and you'll enjoy it. So stay tuned for the rest of this week. I'll tell you who some of the guests are, but they're just really, really fun. I'm also going to, Anne-Marie has been a guest on this program, Anne-Marie Brogan, and I'll share what she's saying. She's saying this concept of starting small works beautifully with the aspirational clutter that we spoke about. What if we rediscover some of the things we're holding on to because one day we hoped to engage with it. Maybe now's the day to engage with it. Thank you, Anne-Marie. All right, let me tell you what you have for the rest of this week. We have Alicia Booker tomorrow on The Believe Show. We have Philip Maymin, my brother, speaking about mindfulness-related concepts on Wednesday. We have Nil Demirchibuk, and you have heard her before. She came to speak about intuition. That's on Thursday, and she's going to be talking about advanced intuition. And finally, we have Ryan Wisnant, and he's going to be talking about nature and the benefits and what you can do with nature that changes how you are. So thrilled to have you here. We'll see you in the rest of the week. All the best to you. Be well. I'm not playing the goodbye clip. Here it is. Goodbye clip. Be well.